Hello fellow creatives, and thank you for tuning in. Today's video is about using ChatGPT to assist in creating a story or script, even from the tiniest idea. My starting point is an idea about 4 paid mercenaries trapped in an abandoned warehouse after being ambushed with their leader killed. Can ChatGPT turn this into a full story? Let's find out. I'm using ChatGPT 4, but feel free to use the free version or other AI writing tools like Bing. I informed ChatGPT of my desire to create dialogue between characters. If you need to read the entire paragraph I wrote, please pause the video. Here's what I received. ChatGPT generated a list of characters, complete with names and small characteristics drawn from my brief idea. I'm happy with the names. Pause the video to read the dialogue. Though I'm pleased, I realized I forgot to request standard screenplay format from ChatGPT. Let me fix that. Also, remember to specify if you want realistic dialogue. If possible, tell the AI tool that the characters have distinct personalities, as it will help create variations in speech. Pause the video to read what I typed. Here's the result. As you'll notice, it created a screenplay format, and it wrote down the setting for my story. Then it included the original dialogue from before. Let's modify that. I requested more tension from ChatGPT between the characters, specifically additional dialogue between Garcia and another character. Pause the video if you need to see what I wrote. Here's the revised version. I like the increased tension in the dialogue, but did you notice what the AI tool did? It began with the statement, "There is tension in the room." As a screenwriter, you must never write that. In screenplays, it's essential to show and not tell. Why? Because your audience is viewing the movie, not reading the character's thoughts or descriptions. Keep that in mind. Now, if you were writing a novel or a short story, you could describe the tension, but even then, I'd advise showing the action to convey tension instead of simply stating, "There is tension in the room." I appreciate what the character said, but notice that the AI tool writes a concise amount of words and quickly reaches the point. It doesn't craft a lengthy scene. This brevity is okay though, because you are the one writing the story. You are using these AI tools to generate ideas. I enjoy the scene, but I want to make several changes, as it doesn't align with my writing style. The dialogue feels too quick and forced, but you can modify it to suit your preferences. If you're unsure how to write scripts or stories, AI tools are an excellent resource to help build your voice and discover your unique writing style. Now, let's take this further. I want to ask ChatGPT if it can create a complete storyline using only this snippet of dialogue. Let's see what unfolds. Well, ChatGPT created a 3-act structure, but it didn't quite accomplish what I needed, and that's where you come into play. Let's look at what it's given us. It begins with the 4 mercenaries being attacked in a warehouse, but it fails to mention anything about the previous group, especially the chief who was killed. Notice what I've just done though. I've started crafting the beginning of my storyline. Sort of. We need details about the chief and how he died. We must understand why these mercenaries are in this particular neighborhood or country. We need to know who paid them, what they were sent to retrieve, and so on. Do you see what's happening here? I'm developing a storyline all on my own, but I still use ChatGPT to guide me. Now let's ask ChatGPT the following, and make sure to pause the video to read what I wrote. By formulating the right questions and engaging with the AI tool, I'm weaving together the elements of my story, step by step. And you can too. Okay, we're making progress now. ChatGPT has generated more characters, including the chief and a demolitions expert. It's laid out the backstory, setting, and everything else in a clean outline. This is ideal for writers of all levels. Remember, you need to build the skeleton of your story before you add the flesh to create a living, breathing structure. In this case, the location is an Eastern European country, and the plot centers on political unrest. This choice is exciting because I'm now picturing one of the characters, say Garcia, mentioning that they've never traveled outside the US. We can play around with Garcia and Hawk, making them good friends who constantly bicker, poke fun at each other's backgrounds, and crack jokes about their accents. Yet deep down, they respect one another and always have each other's back. I'll add this dynamic between Hawk and Garcia, and I'm confident that ChatGPT, and you as well, will have a blast writing this story structure. Let's see what else was created. The story takes place in modern times, which is fine, but I see potential in setting it in the 1980s. Think of films like The Delta Force, Missing in Action, American Ninja, Invasion USA, or Cobra with Sylvester Stallone. These movies have that vintage vibe. They really don't make movies like that anymore. They're so much fun to watch. That's what I want to capture. You know what? I'm changing the time setting to 1986. Now let's take a closer look at the assignment. The team was hired by a shadowy government organization from the US to retrieve a valuable and classified piece of technology believed to be hidden in an abandoned manufacturing plant. I love the concept of a mysterious government organization, but I am not so keen on the location being a manufacturing plant. Now remember, our 4 mercenaries found themselves in that spot only to escape an ambush. The technology needs to be hidden elsewhere. Did they manage to retrieve it, or did they never find it? What exactly is this tech? Should we, as writers, or even the characters, know what it is, even if the audience remains in the dark? You see the process here? I'm probing the scenario with questions to find the right answers. By doing this, I'm crafting a more dynamic and engaging storyline. And to think, we began with just a snippet of dialogue between the mercenaries. I'm going to alter the part about the warehouse. Instead, I'll make it so that the technology is stored in an underground facility. The mercenaries must navigate through the slums, filled with gangs working for the villains who originally stole the tech. This setup gives me more action-packed scenarios to explore. Let's keep digging into what works and what doesn't. The reason behind hiring mercenaries is clear. The government organization cannot act directly due to the politically sensitive nature of the mission. That makes sense, and it adds a layer of intrigue to the plot. They've turned the mercenaries to handle the dirty work. The story also conveys a sense of urgency, as intelligence reports suggest that a rival faction has located the technology and is moving to acquire it. Time is of the essence. Following this introduction, the script transitions into a 3-act structure. Take a moment to pause the video and review the details below. By tweaking the ideas, asking the right questions, and shaping the narrative, we've breathed life into our story, setting the stage for a thrilling adventure. Okay, like some aspects of the information, such as the section about showcasing each mercenary's backstory, I can create something unique for each of the characters. In the additional notes, you'll find details about the rival faction and the technology. If I need help figuring out who this group is or what the technology involves, I can either consult ChatGPT or come up with it myself. Likewise, if you're struggling, you can ask ChatGPT for assistance. Don't hesitate to ask it to brainstorm with you. Now I'm going to integrate the details I previously mentioned, like Hawk and Garcia being good friends who constantly bicker but support each other. Since they've never traveled outside of the US, that's a dynamic I want to explore. Additionally, I'll change the time setting to 1986 and clarify the nature of the technology and who the rivals are. Remember, your story might turn out differently. And here is the result. Everything I wanted to modify, from the setting of the year to the camaraderie between Hawk and Garcia, has been updated. The AI also refined the first act and other key points. If you continue this process, you'll find that you are building a backbone for your story, even if you weren't sure where to begin. Suddenly, you'll have a starting point. Remember, AI tools like ChatGPT are here to assist in shaping your story. If you encounter a problem, the AI can help you to a certain degree. Think of it as consulting friends or family for ideas, but with the advantage of a quicker response. If the brainstorming doesn't quite hit the mark, simply ask it again, or make the necessary changes yourself. Well, what do you think? Will ChatGPT help you in the long run to write your story or your screenplay? Will you be using this method to help you? Has it already helped you? If you like this video, like, comment, share, and don't forget to subscribe for more awesome ideas and tips, from writing scripts to making movies to drawing comic books. Well, this is Art signing off, and don't forget to muse it or lose it.